Vybz Kartel, they hard road. I tell you, from before him get released, say, them better prepare stadium. I don't know who will promote that show there, but I say, maybe it's one of the biggest shows you're going to ever see in Jamaica.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, greetings. I hope you all are doing good. Hope you all are doing great. So your boy here come across this one we're in. This one is the latest cutting edge as of Wednesday, August the 7th of 2024. We're in Muta tackled this one stating, say it already, and he must say it again. That a update say them better prepare stadium for Vybz Kartel, because this one is gonna be really a big one for Vybz Kartel. Yeah man. Also, my people, you will be also hearing from Dr. Umar Johnson speaking of the dropping out of Joe Biden in the presidential race. So guys, this one is gonna be really a warm and interesting one. So you wanna stay tuned, and don't forget, I'm here on the Black Unity program. So feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you're new. So let's go ahead and hear what Mutabaruka got to say in this one. My people, let's walk.
And I want to tell you, Vybz Kartel, they hard road. I tell you, from before him get released, say, them better prepare stadium, because the artists were going there and draw the biggest crowd. It was Buju Banton as a single artist. I don't know who will promote that show there, but I say, maybe it's one of the biggest shows you're going to ever see in Jamaica. This is the cutting edge, and next Wednesday, first Wednesday in August. We're there with you live, and outside is kind of warm, but rain did fall too. We don't stop get rain up here, believe you me, but we love it. We love it because in the night it's hot, and then when I go down to morning it start to get cooler. So hope you're alright, which part you there. Are you ready for the cutting edge again? And you can stay with me until 2 o'clock. Yes, so we're there with you. You know, all the things are going. All the things got going last week too. Even yesterday and the day before. Yesterday them say was a holiday. Them says Independence Day. And you know, Jamaicans still a search for that independence, because really and truly, all of the things what we do, we depend, whether in our house, in the wider society, or even foreign. Because you know, some people where them call the barrel people, them where them parents in a Jamaica where they pick me, but the parents depend upon somebody a foreign to send things to them full of barrel. You have a woman where depend upon man to send things to them a foreign. So it's a whole heap of dependency a go on. And the government depend on the whole heap of grant where them supposed to get. And sometimes we don't know what them do with the grant them. We still try to figure out what them do with the COVID money. Yeah, the whole heap of COVID money that I run around the place, It's still about, but we don't know which part it's there. So we still are search for that independence, and we hear them talk about republic. The Jamaican people still are trying to figure out what the hell is a republic. I mean, we hear it a flat all over the place, but it come like it now come direct. We now, direction, straight. That's the normal man on the road. We are selling coconut jelly. And we are selling at the school gate. Can understand what is it that Jamaican is switching from and what them switching to. So all of them things there need to answer. And we hope say the people them don't get confused. But I know when them are going to try to make it answer, you know. Wait till the end of the year, yeah, when it's time for election run up, when people are run to and fro to say who them are going to vote for. And when them start go up on the road with them lie and them give away gift bags and all these things. So we're going to watch where go on because things are get away, not to mention that the American election will come in November, yeah. And we see we are going to America now. Them people, they're not easy, man. Them people, they're not easy. I mean, the only thing them not start through it is stone and you hear the brethren, when name again, Donald Trump say, anyway him lose, it will be a bloodbath. And that him say, you know, anyway him lose, it's going to be a bloodbath. Here we go. Yes, Stephen Marley said is an old soul. I want to know how much one understand an old soul. A serious argument that, you know, he's an old soul. All people are going around the place and have none. Soul, that is. So, we hear them talk about this year going to be the hottest year, hotter than last year. We see it start happening already. Now we see people are prepared for flood and breeze. Well, I want to tell you say, we are going to say it right here, so we better start prepare for the heat. The heat. Because I remember say, we never did make house with air conditioning there, because we never did need it certain time. But you say, I will for all people about the place, and the house them is same way like how them was. Especially as some of them now we have slab rooftop and a pure concrete and no tree no they round the house them, especially upon them scheme of the government to make. I tell you from now, it's them scheme of the government them a make when no tree no they about and it's just a little box, you see when nature start to decide, say, a hot we are going to get hot now, because really and truly we use a little coal. Because it will get cold too, You so say, snow fall all a Mandeville and all them places, but I'm telling you about this eating, yeah. Don't take it lightly, Don't take it lightly. Because I say, them construction workers, they work every day in the sun. Some of them are there drink water, they go drink liquor in the sun. Them are drink liquor in the sun, And them also are drink drinks. Now, the only thing we can hydrate your body is water, H2O. So, all the people them who are work on construction site, tell anybody say you hear me say this. Prepare for the heat. The people are telling them to prepare for the rain and prepare for the breeze. Well, me I tell you say, prepare for the heat. Because the heat we are pass through, easy heat. Easy heat. Because every year it get hotter and hotter and hotter. And we see it too, Yeah, man, we see it, man. And a whole heap of we not drink enough water. Whole heap of we. Everybody have a little jug nowadays a walk around. That is good. But you walk around with a jug than the plastic bottle. Because you see, the plastic bottle, especially if you drive your car, and you have the water in the plastic bottle, and you left your car, you left the bottle in the car and lock up the window them, and you gone inside the office and all the place. Sometimes you gone all in some tax office and business place. And by the time you come out of the business place, you're thirsty. I remember say you have the bottle of water in the plastic bottle. I tell you, it's not a good thing. We're going to take a break and come forward. Yes, so I get some little advice about this. Eat. It will get hotter. Yes, as long as the years them change, it will get hotter. And now the guys them say last year was the hottest. This year got hotter than last year. It start already, and nobody can say them feel cool at the time. Especially those of you who have to walk, or you want walk, or this one walk, or this so. It's really a terrible thing I go on. So protection, very important at this time, as we say hydration. You know, we talk about the bottle them, and we say those little can, what you say, it's a very good thing to keep water, you know. Yes, because one, it keep it cool like a thermos, we keep things hot. Them can you know keep things cool. It's better you walk around with one of them than every minute. You have to go buy a plastic bottle of water and put in your car. Because when you're going to the car, the plastic bottle is soft. And you don't know what is it that is happening to the water in the plastic bottle. You know, it's not like say it's in your house where you drink, where people don't usually drink water out of plastic bag. Them throw the water in a cup, but plastic bag is a very dangerous thing to keep water in and put it in your car. Very dangerous thing. It might not look that way there, but you know, them things they creep up on you, you know. Certain sickness creep up on you, you know. It's not like a cut, you know, or a car lick you, where the car lick like you start to feel pain and you go take this and take that. You have certain sickness where those creep up on you for years too. Years it take to come up on you. And you're frightened for no, so that when you feel it, it's when it's gone too late. And the amount of things we're around with now will cause the destruction of our body. It's very weird, strange, very difficult. Nowadays you go to the doctor don't know what is happening, what is wrong with you. You tell the doctor, say your belly hurt you from last night. Them give you 2 tablets until you must go home. Him not tell you his what, you not ask his what. You don't know what the tablet, all you feel so the tablet will help prevent the belly ache, but it don't deal with the symptoms. So, when I say you can't escape everything, because none of it right now can escape the amount of sickness where you go on in the world you know. None of it, no care how much bush you drink and how much this or that, can escape the whole heap of sickness where you go on. Because remember now, if the sickness will catch you a certain way, you know. A car accident will catch you, a gunman will catch you. Yes. Even a dog bite will catch you. Because sometimes you're very cautious, you know, but it's earth with the pan. And we have to remember to say earth with the pan because things get away. Things get away upon this place, yeah. And we have to know that. Yes, Janine, it's a revolution. We need a revolution. We need to against a whole heap of things. You think it's just against the system. You have to dig deeper in yourself too. You have to have a revolution in your mind. Change up certain behavior and attitude. We are causing degrading and downgrading of African people. Because right now, them have we under wraps. Yeah, man, them have we under wraps, man. They don't see it. Turn around and go outside the road at the time and look. As if you don't see it. And most of Zambia walk around the place. Them going straight to where them supposed to be not going. And them coming back from where them wasn't supposed to go. Weird. Them eat the food where them no cook. And if them go a restaurant, them not eat the right things because the wrong thing is always where them advertise most. Nowadays you go out, if you don't have $100,000, why I tell you to get away? If you don't have $100,000 in your pocket, it's hard, you know. Yeah. I have 50,000. Well, I have 50,000 nowadays, you know, because by the time you pay for you and somebody go in, you're gone way overboard already. And you have to go buy drink, and some of the women, them have hungry belly, them have food same way, even though them don't eat at them yard. And then you have to go buy your little dish on the corner. Not to mention, she did want something for wear. And she did go the night before and buy something for wear, go to something where she go the night before. But now she can't wear the same thing because her friend them are going to see her. So she wants something else to wear. So all of that. So you could have reached all 100,000 in a them time, yeah. Can you believe that, man? For time 100,000, I could have buy a house. Big house too. Nowadays a man about $100,000. And he must show off. And by the time he goes to boom and spin with him bridging them, go to the dance and thing and start to go on away and show off. Him $100,000 done. Because some man no move with himself and the woman, you know. Some man move with 5 other man. Yeah, the man in bridge them go to the car where my driving come like it's a taxi, or a minivan. And all of them, especially artists, you have a whole heap of artists who don't go to no man, you know. No, them don't go to no man. They left the woman a yard. Because one, them going to go find a woman outside. And two, where them go, the woman no want go. So when them go out now, them go out with 4 or 5 men around them, not to mention the man them meet them at the gate. And I bully the security, and I bully the promoter. And I check the promoter, say, anyhow, them not let them in. Them now going to perform. The promoter show, I'm not promote no show with them kind of people still. Because when them they are firing, them can't do that. When them they are firing, them can't do that. But we don't talk about how much money it take now if you go have a little fun. You know, see it? And some man feels film fun is about 100,000. Because him have to show off. Not to mention the lady them. Wow. And them a show off, man. Serious thing. Yeah, man. Lift me up. Okay. So you're going to write, we're going to take some phone call. So early we take them. We're going to take some phone call because we know you have enough things to say. Enough things. And I want to tell you, from before him get released, say, them better prepare stadium. Because the artists were going there and draw the biggest crowd. Was Buju Banton as a single artist. But Vybz Kartel, they out road. And the stadium no good again. So I don't know who will promote that show there. But I say maybe it's one of the biggest shows you're going to ever see in Jamaica. Yeah, man. Maybe it's one of the biggest shows you're going to see in Jamaica. So I just say, and that's right there. Whether you like it or not, what happened to this police, big policeman, when it say, on TV, him say Vybz Kartel is fingered for a whole 100 murders. I remember when I say it, I say, why the man is not easy. Then how come nobody else now ball? How come nobody else now ball? It's a terrible thing that people can come on radio, television, and after a man get old for a murder, you come now because he's a big police. And I said the man is fingered in the next 100 murders. It's like the man did a rage war against Jamaica, a one-man war. Well, that man is not about the place again. And we see them release Vybz Kartel. Vybz Kartel seem to be what's happening now. And is what will happen for a long time. I think him have to go get better first. So I don't know how long that show will be, or how long it will take to promote that show. But I know a show going to get promoted. And just like how we say, Bojo gone a foreign and got sold out. Sold out, I think it's 14,000 people. A place back to back. 14,000 seater. Back to back, 2 shows straight. I don't have no artists who draw them crowd there. I think Popcorn do it in England. Well, I don't know. But it not go nice. And then I say not go nice, mean it not go nice. I mean, anytime you get a show, they start to promote. Trust me. Trust me. Everybody in Florida, Miami, Atlanta, flight full up to come down here. You know, this 2 weeks here, I have to tell the people them this, 2 weeks. I've been stuck on CNN, NBC, Fox, and all them channel there. It's the first I ever hear Jamaica name called so much time on TV in America. First. You know why? Because them a grapple, well not them. Trump go make a statement about Kamala and her Jamaican heritage. When I say Jamaican heritage, she say she Indian. She said she Indian. Otherwise she was an Indian. And now just the other day, she said she black. That was not easy, And the people them now take it up now and start to talk about our father come from Jamaica and our mother come from India. And it's one thing. Every time somebody come on the TV and I talk about Kamala, you should them say, our father was Jamaican. I have never heard Jamaica get so much promo that the vice president might be president of Jamaican blood. And not only that, I don't know how Trump feel, because the case we have down in Washington there, Washington them have the case, or a wait name there, Atlanta, Georgia. The judge down there, we have tried the case, is a Jamaican woman too. Because the man like woman talk to them certain way, So I don't know how I'm going to manage. Imagine him reach a stage where two Jamaican woman of Jamaican parentage of him maybe locked, bind up. So, I could see what happen. I could see what happen. Why you look all the artists them who live in Florida, you know, them go colonize Florida. Yeah, colonize Florida. As we have to we'll take some phone call. We live in a society where instead of the grand picnic bury the grandmother after bury the grand picnic, whole heap of that happen every week and every weekend. I don't know how so much funeral past Stony Hill, but I tell you, every Sunday funeral pass. I don't know where them are going to send me a report and I don't know about. And I pure young people in the funeral procession, you know. Yeah, man, some little car, you know, them little car where you can't get them without paying down no money upon it. Yeah. I don't know. We are going the wrong way, man. We are going the wrong way. Well, by the way, when you tell us I'm going to have to sing thing, yeah, man, and we are playing the African party vibes, you know. And you know, say, we don't know nobody else can do it, but we are played from morning till evening. Pure African music. Yes. And that is this Sunday. Sunday we are coming here. And I must tell you that Monday we're upon another vibes. Why you know my brother DJ Snow. We are playing music together for years. DJ Snow having birthday. This Monday I come. And we're going to play the Rebel T HQ, yes. We're going to play a Rebel T HQ. And you have other selectors, Billy Slaughter and DJ Smurf and Pooh, you understand? So, yeah, we're going to there. Celebrate with my brother DJ Snow. We go a long way. And every time I call, last year I was supposed to play and I go away. Well, this year I'm not going nowhere. I will be there. Rebel THQ. I celebrate with DJ Snow. And we say we are celebrating, you know, so we are playing music. We are go out there because say happy birthday, you know, we are playing music. We is one of the guest selector them. Different kind of music we play when we are play out. Yes. Music where them not allow we to play per IRFM. So we're out there. So be there. We will be there. And all roads, as I said, Sunday, lead up to Philistine thing. Philistine thing is back again, you know. And we're going to play up there too. Yes. A different kind of playing that too. Yes. So, you know, say, it's nice. This Sunday, this Monday, and we are playing Saturday too. We are playing Saturday too. Yeah. Mosaic, Market, down a Barbican. We are playing the whole day down there too. So no play out. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay. But today, we are playing right as well. We are playing Martin a while ago. Here we go. Yes. Serious thing. Man, them say man come from monkey, but the things that a man a do, monkey not do it. I ask the question, which animal is the highest form of animal on earth? Because the things them that man do, don't give them the right and authority to claim that they are the superior being. Yes, can't claim it.
In Singapore, there is no trash. Every day, over 2,400 trucks collect all the garbage and dump it in the bunker. There are 4 waste incineration plants across the country to burn trash 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The fire burns the trash in these factories, and the heat generated from this process becomes electricity to light up homes. The toxic smoke is filtered out and becomes super clean. The remaining ash, which they call new sand, is taken to a man-made island, which they soon plan to use for non-structural construction like pathway bricks.
Irie FM, thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Van Benjamin said, be still, man. Be still. You know, that brother pass away untimely. Yeah, some man just come and just go so. And you wonder how them just gone so. You know them way there? Them not supposed to just go that way there. Giving them contribution what them a make. Here we go.
Africans to seek to regain their independence from the colonial masters. Historians will remind us that we were first enslaved, that Africans were taken, and this we seldom say. The first civilization to take Africans out of this continent were the Arabs. And they took Africans from the eastern coast. And it's sad that in that part of the world, there are not many Africans who remained, because it was in the business of the Arab enslaver to castrate Africans. We never say that, but we must say it because it is historically significant. Then the Europeans came, the Portuguese came, the Spaniards came, the Germans came, the French came, the Belgians came. Africa became the hunting ground for the European colonizers, and we were the spot. We built, our ancestors built the United States of America, our ancestors built Europe, and when slavery had lost its shine and sheen, the Europeans abolished it, but they replaced it with yet another pernicious enterprise, the colonization of Africa. The Europeans sat in Berlin, in Germany, in 1884, and they looked at the map of Africa and parceled it out. The British had their share, the Germans had their share, and Tanzania or Tanganyika was their share, as was Rwanda and Burundi. The Spaniards were Johnny-come-latelys in the arena, and they got little Equatorial Guinea and Southwest Africa. The French were here, the Portuguese were here, and we were colonized. This time round, they did not take us away. They came here, and they controlled us, and they told us, not in so many words, that we were children of a lesser God. And we were treated as if we were children of a lesser God. In fact, they told us that on the day of creation, we were merely hewers of wood and drawers of water. And if anybody were to doubt it in 1948, it was more blatant when Hendrik Verwoerd instituted the apartheid regime in South Africa. But yet there is a sense in which the God that we worship never sleeps. The colonial enterprise ran its course. And the European tribes, the Europeans never called themselves tribes, they called them nations, were engaged in a war. First in 1918, the European tribes fought. and they had something called the League of Nations, which died. Then they fought again in 1945. And what is unique about the European nations is that when they are engaged in tribal wars, they call them world wars. So there was another war between 1945, 1939 and 1945, and after that, a new kid on the block, the United States of America, took the lead in saying that colonialism was something that was undesirable. But at that time, Africans were never quiet. Those who had been taken out had already started agitating. Many of us here will remember Marcus Garvey, of whom Bob Marley says, Garvey was a buffalo soldier in the heart of America. And many of us will remember W.E.B. Du Bois. Many of us will remember that they started agitating that Africans must regain their dignity and their independence. And indeed, in 1847, in Liberia, a small group of Africans were brought back in Monrovia, and Liberia became the first independent black nation in the continent of Africa. So soon thereafter in Sierra Leone, they also created yet another colony. But Africa was colonized, except Ethiopia, which they tried to take in 1938 and exiled Professor Dr. Haile Selassie. And unfortunately, they were defeated, as you remember, in the Battle of Adwa. Africa can defeat European tribes. This history is necessary that we are able to appreciate the freedom that we gained. So that Garvey came, W.E.B. Du Bois came, but there was another crop after the 1940s who had had the advantage of European education. And there were people in Europe also who are beginning to recognize that indeed equality was necessary. And this was not anything new. In 1776 in the United States of America, the American state sitting in Philadelphia in the United States of America declared unto themselves that all men are born equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A few years later in France, after the revolution, they also recognized that we were to be equal, so that the colonized nations which had now taken Africans thought that they were safe. They had taken Leopold Sédar Senghor from Senegal to Paris, and they thought that they were creating a little Frenchman. Little did they know that they were creating somebody who would want to overthrow them. They took Félix Houphouët-Boigny from Côte d'Ivoire, and they thought that they were creating somebody who would be subservient to them. They took Ahmed Sékou Touré and Modibo Keïta, and they thought they were safe. Little did they know that they were creating the future leaders and agitators against French colonization. And it did not stop there. The Portuguese also took Agostinho Neto and Amilcar Cabral and Eduardo Mondlane to Lisbon. Little did they know that those individuals would be the catalyst that would be necessary in the process of decolonization. The British also had their fair share. They took others. They took Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere, Hastings Kamuzu Banda, Kenneth David Kaunda, and many others to the United Kingdom, Jomo Kenyatta. Little did they know that those would be the individuals who sometimes later, and in Ghana, of course, they took the Osagyefo, Kwame Nkrumah, and in Nigeria, they took Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, and Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Sultan of Sokoto. There is a sense, therefore, in which these individuals started recognizing that having been enslaved, having been colonized, we now had to liberate ourselves. And the agitation started. And Kwame Nkrumah and his Ghana acquired independence in 1957. And I still can hear Kwame Nkrumah through the vicissitudes of time saying in Accra, Ghana, that Ghana is free and will never be colonized again. But the freedom of Ghana means nothing if the rest of Africa is not free. I can hear...
Here we go.
Who do you think saved the Jews from slaughter from the Christians in history?
You tell me.
The Muslims. Without the Muslim protection, the Christians would have wiped out the Jews of Europe. But in Andalusia, for 800 years, they were protected by the Islamic State. For 800 years, they flourished. They researched. They didn't have to become Muslims. They were Jews. And Jews could come and live there and protected by the state. Yeah, they paid jizya, but they were protected. What happened when the protection was over, when the Reconquista happened with Isabella and Ferdinand, and the Catholic armies got so strong, they pushed the Muslims out of the Europe, yeah? What happened to the Jews?
I don't know.
Forced to convert. What did the Jews do? Said to the Muslims, let us come with you. Without Islam protecting them, the Christians would have wiped them out. Because the Christians were so anti-Semitic, it was unreal.
Why were they?
Because they believed that they killed Jesus and all of this. If you see the words of the church fathers, they should burn all the synagogues down, all of these things. Yeah, they wanted to distance Christianity away from the Jews. Because when you look at the teachings of Jesus, it was for the Jews. He didn't come to abolish any laws, all of these things. They needed Paul's version of Christianity to be the predominant thing. So they needed to detach it from anything Jewish. So they put the blame on the Jews for crucifying him. But the irony is that they should be thanking the Jews for crucifying him.
Exactly. And imagine
thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Who do you think saved the Jews from slaughter from the Christians in history?
You tell me.
The Muslims. Without the Muslim protection, the Christians would have wiped out the Jews of Europe. But in Andalusia, for 800 years, they were protected by the Islamic State. For 800 years, they flourished. They researched. They didn't have to become Muslims. They were Jews. And Jews could come and live there and protected by the state. Yeah, they paid jizya, but they were protected. What happened when the protection was over, when the Reconquista happened with Isabella and Ferdinand, and the Catholic armies got so strong, they pushed the Muslims out of the Europe, yeah? What happened to the Jews?
I don't know.
Forced to convert. What did the Jews do? Said to the Muslims, let us come with you. Without Islam protecting them, the Christians would have wiped them out. Because the Christians were so anti-Semitic, it was unreal.
Why were they?
Because they believed that they killed Jesus and all of this. If you see the words of the church fathers, they should burn all the synagogues down, all of these things. Yeah, they wanted to distance Christianity away from the Jews. Because when you look at the teachings of Jesus, it was for the Jews. He didn't come to abolish any laws, all of these things. They needed Paul's version of Christianity to be the predominant thing. So they needed to detach it from anything Jewish. So they put the blame on the Jews for crucifying him. But the irony is that they should be thanking the Jews for crucifying him.
Exactly. And imagine
because if he didn't get crucified, they wouldn't have been saved.
Let's say you lived in the deepest forest, never came across the Bible, and you just live in your life every day, and you die. Are you going to go to hell? Because the Bible and the Quran and these books only take effect when you know they're around and you believe them. Up until that point, they don't exist to you. So you're the one that's governing yourself with whatever you're doing. So you're the first God, first of all.
REFM, thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Let's say you lived in the deepest forest, never came across the Bible, and you just live in your life every day, and you die. Are you going to go to hell? Because the Bible and the Quran and these books only take effect when you know they're around and you believe them. Up until that point, they don't exist to you. So you're the one that's governing yourself with whatever you're doing.
Why you look the operator, you know? While up Shane Clark, so we'll be back here at 2 p.m. with the Stepping Razor, the Art of War. Total different program. Relax tonight. Yeah, we relax. Total different program.
What the hell you on the platform, my guy?
Peace and Pan-Africanism. Art, glad to be back.
Hey, man, had to bring you back, man. The people love your commentary, man. So, it's only right to bring you back.
Appreciate that. Much love to the supporters.
Yes, indeed. So I got to ask you, right, about an hour ago, which is crazy, but, Joe Biden, he dropped out the presidential election. How you feel about that?
Yes, sir. What is my reaction to President Biden dropping out of the 2024 presidential race? I have several thoughts. Number one, we have to put this within its proper political context. The United States government is not controlled by neither the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. They are simply the public government. The president, the Congress, the Supreme Court, they are the public government. But there is a private government, and that private government includes, but is not limited to, the National Security Agency, the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Federal Reserve, and the Bilderberger Group. And the Bilderberger Group, we need to pay particular attention to, because the Bilderberger Group, in my opinion, at this moment in history, I believe is the most influential of all of the secret societies. It was the Bilderberger Group that made Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton come to a truce back during the Obama years when he was running for president and the Democrats were struggling over whether to nominate Obama or nominate Hillary Clinton. They both had to go and sit in the Bilderberger meeting and receive their marching orders. So I found it rather interesting that President Obama has surfaced as being one of the leading Democrats who influenced President Biden to step down. There's a strong possibility that it was the Bilderberger Group who gave Barack Obama the instructions to tell his good friend Joe Biden to stand down, because they may very well have wanted the Democrats to remain in power in the White House. But I think it's crystal clear, the more we get closer to Election Day on November the 5th, it's becoming more clearer that the American public, from what I see, is more behind Donald Trump than they are behind President Biden. And I believe that the Bilderbergers may have told President Obama to instruct Donald Trump to stand down. But it gets more interesting because President Obama does not support Kamala Harris's endorsement. He said that the Democratic Party need to take a look at all of their potential contenders who could replace Joe Biden as the presidential nominee, which is kind of interesting from a personal standpoint, because both he and Kamala Harris are two mixed race Africans who never really identified with black people, and both were puppets for the white power structure. So you would think he would have a lot more in common with Kamala Harris. It could be a case of narcissism, but no matter how you look at it, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that the shadow government instructed Barack Obama to make President Biden stand down. And I'm also rather intrigued by the fact that President Biden decided to stand down on a Sunday, a non-business day, not Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, not Thursday or Friday, but he did it during the weekend. That means that the shadow government found it necessary for him to be replaced right now and not a second longer. Let me make this make sense for the listening public. America is not a democracy. The people do not choose the president. Presidents are publicly confirmed by the Electoral College. It is the Electoral College that votes for the president, not the people. Now, based on your popular vote, whoever wins the popular vote in a state generally will carry all of the Electoral College votes for that state. But the electors of that state are not required to vote for the person that won the popular vote. So, for example, you beat me in Pennsylvania for the popular vote for president of the United States. You clearly won the popular vote. the electorals for the state of Pennsylvania, 99.9% of the time, will vote for you to be president because you carried the popular vote. But they are not required to do so by constitutional law. And the reason they are not required to do so by constitutional law is the United States government is not a democracy. It is a republic. It is not the rule of the majority. It is the rule of law. That's why the word democracy is not in the Constitution. The word democracy is not in the preamble. The word democracy is not in the Declaration of Independence. The word democracy cannot be found in any of the 50 state constitutions of this country. This is not a democracy. It is not the rule of the majority. It is a republic, the rule of the law. And who controls the republic? The aristocracy, the elite financial powers of this country. That's who really chooses the president. Now, if that is the case, why so much attention is put on the popular vote? Because since this is not a democracy, it is important to keep the illusion of inclusion alive and well. When people don't think they have a say in government, they overthrow it. When people don't think they have a say in government, they spark revolution. When people don't think they have a say in government, rebellions happen. So it is important for the power structure, the media, the corporate oligarchy to manipulate the American collective consciousness into voting for the person they pre-selected. It is important that the people come to the same conclusion through manipulation and indoctrination as the power structure. When the power structure chooses one president and the people choose someone else, then the illusion of a democracy begins to yield its dirty head. And that can spell trouble for maintaining the status quo and the social order. For example, in our lives, we've seen twice where a presidential candidate who won the popular vote lost the White House. Al Gore won the popular vote. George Bush won the White House. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. Donald Trump won the White House. They can't keep letting that happen, because the more and more that the people choose one person and the power structure choose another, when people start to see that we really don't control this government, we really don't choose our leaders, they start to rebel. And that's why so much energy is put into the popular vote, because it needs to confirm the selection of the secret government. Now, with that being said, who do I think the power structure wants in the White House at this moment? Because they normally select presidents a couple years in advance, by the way. At least 4 years, they already know who's going to take the place. They leave nothing up to chance. I'm not sure who they want. And the reason I'm conflicted is because they made Joe Biden stand down. A part of me says that they wanted Biden, but he's not popular enough to carry the popular vote. Again, maintaining that illusion of democracy. So a part of me says they wanted Joe Biden, but he's no longer popular enough to hold the popular vote. So to keep the illusion of democracy alive, we got to tell Barack Obama to tell him to stand down. Let's put somebody else in that spot and see if they can carry it. That's a part of me. The other part of me could see a Donald Trump. And the reason another part of me could see a Donald Trump is Donald Trump and Republican presidents in general are pretty good for war. They're very good for sparking up war. But although they're good for war, they are poor at building relationships with second and third world nations. Why am I bringing that up? China is on the rise. China is on the global takeover. Can Donald Trump build the relationships with South Africa? Can he build the relationships with Nigeria and Cameroon? Can Donald Trump build the relationships with Ethiopia and Egypt that the shadow government needs America to have so they can continue to go into the mother continent and freely exploit the resources? I'm not sure Donald Trump is the president to build those political relationships with Africa, Jamaica, Brazil, so forth and so on. I'm not sure he's good for that. And if he's not good for that, if the shadow government doesn't believe Donald Trump is good enough to build those diplomatic relationships so white corporate America can continue to rob the resources of the black nations of this world, then they might choose resources over war. It's really going to come down to whether or not the shadow government values the Chinese threat more or the need to make money in war more. In other words, is this election more about the ability to dominate other people, or is it more about being diplomatic and being able to build relationships with Africa so you can exploit them diamonds, that gold, that silver, that gas, that oil? So I'm not sure which way the shadow government is tipping its hat because I'm not in those meetings, but I'll tell you what will help me make a better decision as to who they want in the White House. When I see who the final Democratic nominee is, if it's not going to be Kamala Harris, and who will be the vice presidential nominee for the presidential nominee. In other words, let me see who the Democrats end up with for president, and let me see who that Democratic presidential nominee ends up with for their vice president. And then I could probably give you a better idea as to whether or not the shadow government wants the Democratic president or the Republican president.
You personally, who do you want to see represent the Democrats?
Nobody, because I don't see anyone when I look at the U.S. senators, when I look at the U.S. representatives, when I look at, I think we only have one or two black governors, the brother down in Maryland, and he's a freshman. So I doubt if they'll anoint him and pull another Barack Obama stunt where they snatched Obama out the U.S. Senate as a first-term senator and made him president. That's because George Bush destroyed America's relationship with Africa. Barack Obama became necessary because of George Bush's poor diplomatic relationship with Africa. So they said, here's a black man who alleges to have a Kenyan father. If we put Barack Obama in the White House, we can go into Africa, get them resources back, install our military system in Africa. And that's exactly what they did. Barack Obama was a supreme success for the white power structure in Africa. That's why they chose him. And just like George Bush made Obama necessary, Obama made Donald Trump necessary domestically, because Americans domestically got tired of hearing Barack Obama's rehearsed, pre-scripted answers to every question he was given. When Donald Trump came, sounding like a fool, but speaking from his heart, that endeared him to Americans who are sick and tired of the political game. They just want a genuine leader, even if he doesn't always make the right mistakes. So Bush made Obama necessary, Obama made Trump necessary, and then Trump made Biden necessary, and now Biden, it appears, may once again be making Trump necessary. But for me, I don't see anyone on the blue aisle or the red aisle that's speaking to the issues that affect American Africans. The George Floyd police reform bill still hasn't been passed. Nobody's talking about that. We don't have any anti-black hate legislation at all. We have no economic empowerment legislation for black people at all. Nothing about mass incarceration, nothing about miseducation, nothing about gentrification, nothing about police genocide. I'm sure you saw the situation that happened not too long ago with the sister in Springfield, Illinois, who was shot in the face 3 times maybe by a white deputy in her home, shot and murdered her in cold blood in her home. And we still don't have any anti-hate legislation or the George Floyd Police Accountability Act. And I don't think either candidate, President Biden or President Trump, has spoken to that. Now, let's say Kamala Harris walks in. My question would be, how is Vice President Kamala Harris any better for black men in America than Donald Trump? How is she any better for black men in America than President Biden? President Biden may have drafted Bill Clinton's 1994 crime bill, but Kamala Harris did all she could to implement Bill Clinton's 1994 crime bill. Look at all the black people that Kamala Harris had arrested and thrown in jail while she served as a prosecutor over in California. So in my opinion, if the Democratic Party wants the black male vote, I'm not too sure they get it with Kamala Harris, but I know what she's going to do. She's going to do exactly what the Republicans just did in Milwaukee with our sister Amber Rose and with Hulk Hogan. Wait till you see the Negropeans who are going to speak at the Democratic National Convention. It's going to be a complete circus. I'm telling you what they're going to do. I believe they're going to grab the rappers and they're going to grab the athletes. They're going to find someone extremely popular within the hip hop industry and the entertainment world to speak for Kamala Harris or whomsoever the Democratic Party convention nominates. I promise you, because they have to outdo Hulk Hogan and they have to outdo Amber Rose. Now, with that being said, let me speak to both of them quickly. Hulk Hogan. When I was a 4th and 5th grader right here in Philadelphia, growing up in elementary school, I was a Hulk Hogan fan. Anytime Hulk Hogan came to wrestle at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, I was there. I had the dolls. I had the belt. We used to make them out of cardboard and aluminum foil. I had all the wrestling magazines. I don't think there was a stronger Hulk Hogan fan in elementary school back in those days. Since then, what have we learned? In 2007, I believe it was, Hulk Hogan was caught on tape calling his daughter's black boyfriend the N-word. He was subsequently dismissed from the WWE Hall of Fame in 2015. They reinstated him a few years later because they claimed he apologized and worked on himself and all these other lies. So guess what happens a couple days ago? This black sister alleges that Hulk Hogan fired her from being a brand ambassador for his new Great American beer. So he has some beer he's selling. Somehow a black woman gets hired to be a brand ambassador for Hulk Hogan. And he fires her once he finds out she's black. Now, his public relations manager claims, who is black, that he can't be a racist because after all, he hired me. And of course, we know that that's complete nonsense. But here's the issue. For Donald Trump and the Republican National Committee to bring Hulk Hogan to Milwaukee, a city that is predominantly black. African people are the largest ethnic group in the city of Milwaukee. You brought Hulk Hogan to Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention when he fresh off an allegation of racism. You know what that tells me? That they don't care about black people, which we already know, but it also shows you that they are bold and unapologetic in not giving a damn about black people. How do you bring a confirmed racist, Hulk Hogan, to a black city, Milwaukee, to speak for Donald Trump if you care at all what black people think? And what did Hulk Hogan say in his closing statements? Hulk Hogan specifically said, "You criminals, you scumbags, you lowlifes, and you drug dealers." Criminals, drug dealers. Criminals, drug dealers. Doesn't that sound like the same rhetoric that George Bush used to get elected? That's the same rhetoric George Bush Sr. used to get elected. See, so Donald Trump is digging back in the Republican Party playback, and they're weaponizing race against black people with the criminal and lowlife, because we all know what color. They're not thinking about white folks when they hear criminal, and they're not thinking about white folks when they hear lowlife. So he's literally criminalizing black people to get elected while black people are running around thinking he's the best thing since sliced bread. Now, let me go to my sister Amber Rose. Sister Amber reached out to me a couple months ago to do an interview, which we may do. That'll be completely up to her. I told her I'm willing to do it. I was interviewed on Power 99 FM, Philadelphia's #1 hip hop and R&B station, a few days ago. And the question came up, did I see Amber Rose's Republican National Convention speech? And I had not seen it, but Sister Roxy, shout out to Roxy, and Mikey Dread, Power 99, Sister Roxy talked about how she felt that Amber Rose never really identified as a black woman. I said, well, in my conversation with Sister Amber Rose, she very much affirmed the fact that she was African. And Sister Roxy said, nah, Doc, you're going to have to do some research. So after my interview on Power 99 the other day, I went home and I did some research. First of all, I watched Sister Amber's RNC speech from Milwaukee. I watched it. And Sister Roxy had alluded to an interview Amber did 9 years ago in 2015 when she said, and I did hear her say, that I am not a black woman or I do not identify as a black woman. So Sister Roxy was correct. Amber did say that. But in defense of her, I said, which is the same thing I said to the Kendrick supporters when they came at Drake for wearing the blackface. I'm the most unapologetically black man you're going to find in this country. At the same time, I understand people have to evolve their political consciousness. So what I said to Roxy and what I'm saying to you is, if Amber Rose said I don't identify as a black woman 9 years ago or so, but she has since come into the consciousness and now embraces her Africanity, I can forgive her for her coonish behavior 9 years ago. If Drake comes to me and says, yeah, Doc, I put on a blackface, I make jokes about black people because I was primarily raised in a Jewish household and I kind of saw myself as white, but I've evolved since then and I know I'm a black man, I can forgive him for his previous coonish behavior. My thing is this: if Amber Rose considers herself a black woman now, I can't hold her to that. She's still responsible for what she said, but she don't get canceled because she's grown. If Drake says I did that, but I now consider myself a black man, I can't cancel him because at least he has evolved. All of us suffer from post-traumatic slavery disease. All of us suffer from post-traumatic colonization disease. We all have it. So a mixed race African might have it a little more, but if they've made amends with their own soul, if they've made amends with their own African ancestors, if they've made amends with their own selves, and they're saying, I stand before you now, Dr. Umar, as an unapologetically African woman, Amber Rose, or an unapologetically African man in Drake, I can accept them. So with that being said, nothing Amber Rose said in her speech in Milwaukee the other day, I found to be disrespectful or towards black people, or should I say warranting of a cancellation. Nothing she said I felt was warranting of a cancellation. Did I agree when she said, these are my people and this is where I belong? I absolutely don't agree with Amber Rose when she said, these are my people and this is where I belong. I absolutely didn't agree with Amber Rose when she said, quote, and I may be paraphrasing, when she said, the best thing we can do for the future of our babies is to elect Donald Trump. I would have to ask my sister, whose babies are we talking about? Because Donald Trump just executed 5 black men who were babies to their parents at one time. So whose babies are we talking about? Donald Trump hasn't introduced any legislation or executive orders to deal with the police extinction of black men. He ain't dealt with miseducation. Donald Trump done nothing about mass incarceration. And who's being mass incarcerated? Our black babies. Who's being exterminated by these police? Our black babies. Who's being miseducated in these schools? Our black babies. So when Sister Amber Rose says, if we care about the future of our babies, we will elect Donald Trump, I cringed on that. I completely disagreed with her on that. But did she say anything that I feel will warrant her to be canceled from the black community if she does in fact identifies as a black woman? Nothing she said I felt went far enough to cancel her. It would be no different than if somebody went up there and sung Joe Biden's praises, or one of these rappers who's going to get up in Chicago and sing Kamala Harris's praises, or whoever the DNC chooses. So for me, people saying Amber Rose need to be canceled for speaking at the RNC, nothing she said I felt warranted a cancellation, but I do need her to clarify her racial identity. Now, I'm going to say this last point on my sister. in her defense, we were communicating via text. And of course, I never share my text messages with public figures. And I'm only sharing this because I don't think she minds me saying this. Sister Amber told me in confidence through text message, the reason she identified as mixed race is because she had been told by Black people her whole life that because she had a Black mother and a white father, she could not consider herself Black. She said she had been told that if she had a white mother and a Black father, that she had been told that the man dictates the race of the child. And she said that she was led to believe by us, by Africans in America. And of course, she's from right here in Philadelphia, as am I. But she was led to believe by us that because her father was white and not Black, she could not identify as one of us. Now, assuming she's being honest, and I have no reason to believe she's not, assuming Sister Amber is being honest, I can't fault her if we made her to feel that she was not Black. Guess why? I talk to a lot of mixed race Africans. And as you know, Art, I think we've had this conversation before. With Pan-Africanists, we believe in a one-parent rule. One parent. If your mother Black or your father Black, as long as you identify full time, we accept you as African. That's how it was for the most honorable Marcus Garvey. That's how it was for Kwame Nkrumah. That's how it was for Patrice Lumumba. That's how it was for Robert Sobukwe. That's how it was for Bishop Henry McNeil Turner, Major Dr. Martin Robinson Delaney, Bishop Alexander Crummell, Edward Wilmot Blyden, going back almost 300 years. If you were mixed and you consider yourself one of us, you had a Black parent, you were one of us. And that's what I told Sister Amber in response. We haven't talked since then, okay? But all I'm saying is to clear the air. If Black people made her feel that way, and there is sufficient proof that they did. Why do I say that, Art? Because right now we're dealing with this multiracial thing. You have American Africans saying that if your mama Black and your daddy white, you not Black. Or if your mama white and your daddy Black, you not Black. Or if either parent is not Black, you not Black. So there is evidence. I know for a fact that what she's saying is true. Is it true for her? Is she just making that up? I'm not going to put that on her. She spoke to me in confidence. I believe she told me the truth in confidence. But yet and still, just like Drake, Sister Amber is going to have to publicly declare whether or not you identify as a Black first woman, like Drake, Black first man, or whether y'all want to be considered mixed race. And I don't support mixed race. Because when a Black person tells me they're mixed race, Art, what they're telling me is, I may not be good enough to be white, but I'm too good to be Black. And that is why I do not identify with people who call themselves mixed race. Now, to clarify, Art, I don't care if they say I'm mixed race for the purpose of making sure people know I have non-African parentage. In other words, if I'm identify myself as mixed race, so people understand my biological ancestral origin, that's cool. I'm talking socially, politically, professionally, culturally. How do you identify? And if they say mixed race over Black, I couldn't consider Amber Rose or Drake my brother or my sister, but I believe they are both Black first. And being Black first doesn't mean you have to reject your white parent, your white family, your white ancestry. Just like when my brother Charlemagne told me the other day on the Breakfast Club, he said, well, Drake says he's a Jew. I ain't got a problem with that. He came from a Jewish mother. Just because he admits he's Jewish doesn't mean he rejects being Black. But if he's pushing I'm Jewish all day and I never hear I'm a Black man until it's time to show up to the BET Awards, then I have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's real talk. But can you imagine how that Democrat convention gonna be, man? Like, can you imagine that, yo?
It's going to be a circus, brother. It is going to be a circus. Now, let me give you this, Art, about the Democratic convention in Chicago. And I hope Black Chicago turn it out, because Kamala Harris is going to push the same initiatives as Joe Biden. She's going to continue to purge Black America with brown migrants. She's going to continue to do that. Let us be clear. The migrant crisis was a Democratic initiative. So all these black people going to run over to Kamala Harris, they better keep in mind that the Democratic agenda is to purge America of black with brown migrants. Are we sure we want that? But I'm going to be honest, Art, no matter how you look at it. When you look at Donald Trump wanting to give the police complete immunity, police can never be held responsible again for criminally neglect behavior while carrying out their officer duties. We can't swallow that. Donald Trump will basically make black America a police state if he gives them complete immunity. At the same time, you got the Democrats taking care of every other group in America but black people. You can't win, Art. And when Negroes say, who do we vote for? The lesser of the two evils. Which one is the lesser of the two? Which one is lesser? I can't tell which one is lesser. They're both bad. They're both bad. We know Kamala Harris don't like black men, because she made her whole career locking them up. She's married to a white man. And let me say this, Art. This could backfire on the Democratic Party. I'm going to tell you why. To white America, Kamala Harris to them is Barack Obama with a female's face. Even though Obama has not endorsed her. And I'm going to be honest with you, Art, that could be politically motivated. Barack Obama may publicly be saying he doesn't endorse VP Kamala Harris for president of the United States, so it doesn't appear to the American people that she will simply be Barack Obama's puppet on strings. In other words, that could be a chess move. I'm going to tell the American public I don't support her, so it doesn't look like I'm the one making all the decisions, when the truth of the matter is a Kamala Harris White House might be a Barack Obama White House wearing a skirt.
So my people, this one was indeed an interesting one. And also, you don't know, you can leave an honest comment down in the comment section. And also, you own opinion. And you don't know, say, me dey upon a Black Unity program. So feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. If you are new, big up to each and every one. Up until then, peace out, adios.